Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the BMRC webinar on immigrant families, a source of resilience. I'm Marcia Akbar. I am the moderator of this session. I'm currently working as a senior researcher at Ryerson University. So in Canadian immigration policies allow principal applicants to come to Canada with their dependent family members through the economic immigration class. And immigrants can also bring their family members through family reunification stream. According to the 2016 census, 75% of immigrants are members of a family in Canada. Therefore, a family approach to settlement and integration is essential to understand the class, gendered, and racialized processes at the level of family and household, and how these processes shape the challenges and opportunities as well as resilience of immigrants. The speakers today will discuss the importance of a family approach to migrant resilience scholarship. We have 4 speakers today, and I'm going to introduce them. Our first presentation will be a joint presentation by Jana Boras and Janice von Presu. Jana is a PhD candidate in the Department of Sociology at York University. Her research interests include migration, precarious legal status, care work, and the incorporation of temporary migrants in Canada. Janice is also a PhD candidate in the Department of Sociology at York University. Her research interests include racial and ethnic identities, migration, and immigrant integration. Then we'll hear from Stephanie Morris. She holds a MA in Public and International Affairs from University of Ottawa. Her research focuses on refugee law, resettlement, and private sponsorship. She is currently in her first year of law school at the University of Ottawa's Common Law program. And finally, we'll hear from Nahid Sultana. She is a postdoctoral research fellow at the University of Windsor. She is also the Windsor City Network Coordinator for the BMRC Partnership. She holds a PhD in social work from McGill University. Her research interests include poverty and inequality, asset-based intervention, social policy, and immigrants. Before hearing from the speakers, I would like to request the audience to post their questions and comments in the chat box as they hear the presentations, and also to turn off the phones. And I would like to also remind that this session will be recorded. Okay, so without further ado, let's hear from Jana and Janice.
Thank you, Marcia. We will just share our screen. And okay, I hope you guys can see our screen okay. So good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of Professors Mandel, Lam, Gazo, and Mann, Janice and I will be highlighting the key themes we found in our research. The findings presented in this webinar is part of the larger project called Stalled Mobility, Income Inequality, and Intergenerational Relationships among Newcomers, South Asian, and Chinese households in the York region. To contextualize our findings, we will start with a discussion of the 2 views of immigrant settlement. What does a flexible immigrant mean? The flexible immigrant is a figure most preferred by the Canadian government. It coincides with neoliberal ideologies, which emphasizes labor market participation and self-sufficiency. Immigrants are expected to solve new challenges and labor opportunities with the goal to achieve economic and social independence. As a result, flexibility is seen as a personal quality, one that is unrelated to larger structural barriers. This, of course, is not true. In contrast, we argue that settlement is a collective process. The supported immigrant is a figure that shows how integration involves a collective effort by all family members. Thus, revealing the entangled nature of the settlement process. The supported immigrant is not alone, but it is helped by a collective enterprise who aid them in overcoming immigration challenges, providing a source of strength and resilience in times of adversities.
Upon arrival in their host country, newcomers often face several basic challenges to the settlement process. These challenges can negatively impact individuals and the family as a unit. Settlement challenges that impact one family member can end up affecting all family members, as their settlement process and needs are not separate but related. Additionally, it is important to examine settlement challenges by age cohorts, as different ages may face similar but specific settlement challenges. For each age group, families and communities can play different roles. There are several research questions we explore in our study on families as sources of stress and support during newcomer settlement. The first question is, how do family and community relations of youth, adults, and seniors facilitate or hinder their settlement? The next question is, are these family and community relations viewed as supportive or stressful? And finally, we ask, what do these relations tell us about resilience and settlement?
To obtain a detailed understanding of the participants' subjective perception of their immigration decision, settlement challenges, financial insecurity, family relations, and social capital, and how they shape their lived circumstances and experiences in different stages of their life course. Between May 2019 to May 2020, we conducted a total of 73 in depth interviews with Chinese and South Asian immigrants in York region. There were 34 South Asian participants who came from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka, and 39 participants who came from China and Hong Kong. Our focus on this research is the family. But who exactly are we referring to? The normative definition of the family in the immigration discourse and policy typically includes a male breadwinner accompanied by his dependent wife and children. We argue that this notion of the family should be expanded to immediate and extended family to include non-kin individuals such as friends, co-workers, and neighbors, whom immigrants consider to be family and rely on for emotional, social, and financial support. Family is a fluid concept that changes as people move through different stages in their lives. In the upcoming slides, you will see how immigration reshapes family definitions to include those who immigrants consider to be essential to the settlement process. More specifically, you will see how family is a source of emotional, financial, and instrumental support.
Chinese and South Asian newcomers stressed the importance of having emotional support during their time in Canada, and many relied on family members. Family members provide companionship and a sense of belonging for newcomers. They also offered advice and encouragement, helping to alleviate any concerns that newcomers have. In being able to share their concerns, newcomers develop reliable and consistent bonds with family members. Emotional support also help newcomers develop emotional resilience to navigate current and future challenges. However, we would like to note that family members are not the only source of emotional support. Youth, adults, and seniors discuss how their peers, social networks, faith, and community groups were significant to their emotional well-being during the stressful settlement process. These individuals provided empathy and positivity. Having individuals they could turn to within their community or social networks helped newcomers feel emotionally supported. And newcomers typically found time to get together often with these individuals. The emotional support that family members and community relations provide show that immigrants are not alone in the settlement process. By turning to family members for help, newcomers were able to manage some of their financial challenges. Family members provided economic resources for essentials. For some newcomers, family members were a crucial source of financial support since they did not have any other income. In addition to receiving financial support, newcomers also received financial support to newcomers also provided financial support to family members by sending remittances to family members in the country of origin or providing financial support for their family members in Canada. Newcomers and family members also used several financial strategies such as pooling resources and taking turns earning money or going to school to ensure financial sufficiency. As a result, family members helped to alleviate financial stress. Newcomers also received a sense of financial security that they could not receive elsewhere due to unemployment and underemployment barriers upon arrival in Canada.
Across all age cohorts, instrumental support provided by family is essential. Extended family members help newcomers find jobs and obtain essential documents such as driver's license and health cards. They also provided information about school, life in Canada, and general advice. Family members also helped with practical tasks such as childcare and airport pickup upon arrival in Canada. One finding that we would also like to emphasize is the role of friends and the community, who also help with practical tasks such as childcare, cooking, finding jobs, finding homes, and solving technical problems. Newcomers were grateful to friends who helped them pick up social habits, adjust to life in Canada, and develop a sense of belonging. They acknowledged that without the instrumental support that they received from friends, newcomers would face many more difficulties. The literature often emphasizes or discusses the positive impact of families on the settlement process. But what sets our findings apart from the literature is the discussion on how family is also a source of stress. In addition to discussing family as a source of support, many of our participants talked about feeling emotional and financial pressure from their families, as well as the lack of instrumental support. It became clear that family was simultaneously a source of support and stress for many immigrants, though the stress level varied from individual to individual. Family as a source of stress was a consistent theme across the Chinese and South Asian youths, adult, and seniors. Here are some examples. Under emotional stress, family conflict was often a key issue. Under financial stress, the decision to move to Canada was often made for the sake of the children and their futures. However, this decision often leads to financial insecurity upon arrival. And under instrumental stress, for many, coming to Canada was already hard enough. The burden of childcare, coupled with the attempt to make ends meet, added layers of responsibility and pressure.
To conclude our presentation, we highlight migration and settlement as collective processes. The collective view of settlement leads us to a collective view of resilience, and we support the view that resilience and settlement are collective. Furthermore, our study questions the role of family and communities in this collective view of resilience and settlement. We find that family and community members are sources of support and stress for the financial, emotional, and instrumental needs of newcomers. Our findings suggest that migration literature may have underestimated the significance of age in settlement and underplayed the role of families and communities in helping age cohorts address integration issues. This ends our presentation, and we thank you for this exciting opportunity to present our research.